Starting off my morning like every morning. Water, electrolytes, and creatine. Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. Jen here, and it is Monday, May 11th. We are kicking off week 3 of my summer shredding GLP-1 weight loss series, my journey to get the weight back off, head into maintenance, hopefully in the next month or two, and just continue working on my health from now until Labor Day. That is when summer shredding ends. I want this to be one, I'm not going to put pressure on myself, but just one of the best summers for me to just lock in, have some fun, enjoy my life, but just be able to kind of balance both worlds, the losing weight and being healthy, and also having a life, enjoying your life, not saying no to everything, finding your balance. And that is what this is all about. If you are new to my channel, yes, I am on a GLP-1. I'm on compounded Tirzepatide. I'm still on 5 milligrams. I get it through Orderly Meds. I've had a lot of questions over the past couple weeks of where I get my compounded Tirzepatide from. It's Orderly Meds. I'll put a link below. But keep in mind, I've also used Join Fridays and I've used Mochi Health. I have no complaints about any of them. It's just Orderly Meds is the company that I've been using for the past year plus. And for example, I just needed to order more of my medication. I went in the portal on the app, put in all my info, where my stats are in terms of weight, how I'm feeling, wanting to stay on the same dose, not increasing or decreasing. Had a small conversation with the doctor, got everything approved, and I had the medication all in 3 days. It was like 2.5 days. Incredible. But once again, I've been with them for a while. And comment below, who do you use? Now, I know some of you are probably on brand and your insurance might cover it. Mine no longer covers it. It stopped covering it almost 2 years ago. I remember that day. It was a sad day when I got that letter. But I always love to know where everybody else, if you're on compounded Tirzepatide or semaglutide, where do you get your medication from? Would love to know. Maybe there's another company I want to try as well, because that's what I did with Mochi. I signed up for Mochi because I heard a lot of people talking about them. I wanted to see what they had to offer, and I thought they were a great company. But at the same time, I've just, I'm a creature of habit. Orderly has just been easy for me to use. But going into the start of week 3, one of the things I noticed about myself is that I am somebody that when I start a challenge, like when I did this 90-day build to base, I slowly layered on and I built my way to that last 30 days of being locked in. Had tremendous success doing that. And I decided with this summer shredding series that I wanted to ease into it, but not in that longer duration that I did with the 90 days, because I noticed for me, week 1, all that hype, that anticipation, it's there, and you just want to go all out. You want to have the best week ever, and you want to repeat that week for the next couple of weeks. And in my case, from now until Labor Day, that when I first started, it would have been 19 weeks. Now I have 16 weeks to go. And to me, I feel like then that next week, that second week for me, turns into questioning my decisions. What am I doing? Is this sustainable? Wow, I can't believe I went that crazy that first week. Maybe I want to change up a couple things. This is the cycle I go in, and it just happened the past 2 weeks. The excitement, the questioning, and then that third week is really a make or break week for me of what direction I want to go into. And the direction that I plan to go in is I'm ready. Now, that doesn't mean I'm going to go crazy and just start cutting everything out and being super strict or anything. It just means, okay, girl, roll up your sleeves. Let's get going. Let's have some fun. And that's how I felt when I woke up this morning. I felt like today was truly the day 1 for me. Even though, yes, I'm entering week 3. And I know that might sound super confusing to you guys, and I apologize for that. That's just the craziness of my brain. But coming off of last week, that back and forth, that push and pull of what was I thinking? What would I like? I'm traveling a lot. I'm doing all these different things. And I'm like, no, you just settle in. These are things that you enjoy to do. You need structure, and you're fighting back on that structure. But when I looked at the end of last week, one of the things I noticed with the chaos of work is that, my nutrition was pretty good. I got my strength training in. I got my running in. Running, I mean like a slow jog on a treadmill. But my steps were lower than usual. So I'm mindful of that. I'm making a couple little tweaks here and there to make sure I get some more steps in throughout the day. And I want to make that a little bit of my focus this week. So every week I want to think of, one or two areas that I want to put my mind on. Nutrition will always be there. Nutrition will always be number one, but outside of that, I want to find 1 to 2 areas that I just want to improve or make that focus. And it doesn't have to be the same every week, but it just throws a little bit of a curveball, a little bit of change. So not every week will look the same. And next thing you know, you're like over it in a couple weeks and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm doing this for 19 weeks. So this week, there's 2 things that I'm doing. Number 1, I'm being mindful of my steps and making sure that I do not get under 10,000 steps every single day. That means when I'm at my desk, I get my walking pad out. Maybe I get it out twice a day. At lunch, if I have the ability, I'm going to go for a walk. I'm just going to look for those pockets throughout the day where I can find myself just moving, even if it's for 15, 20 minutes, because if 15 to 20 minutes, 3 times a day adds up. I walk to and from the gym. I walk my dog. All of those steps now will build up for me to be able to get 10,000. And the reason I know how important steps are for me is that I noticed last week I was a lot stiffer. So for me to get up and move more, my hips aren't as stiff. My back isn't as stiff. I'm not sitting at my desk hunched over doing like work, just zoned in the entire day. So that's the first one, really increasing my non-exercise activity thermogenesis. We're just going to call it NEAT because I really don't want to say those 4 words together again. And then the second area is around food. And it's no added sugar this week. No added sugar. Thankfully, when I made that decision, I looked at my protein shakes and I was like, oh, thank God they don't have added sugar in them, because I was like, what am I going to do with my backup? I got my Flav City. Like I was already trying to figure out how do I talk myself out of this, but no added sugar this week. I looked at my meal plan, my food that I prepped, what I typically like to enjoy throughout the day. And I was like, you know what? You really need this, especially after the weekend. So those are my 2 big areas this week. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to finish my protein coffee. And I have got to get online and I got to start the day. All right, it is happening. Guess what? Took all of 2 minutes to set up. Ready? The walking pad is out. Going to get some steps in now. Probably going to do about 45 minutes. And we'll see just if I can get another session in or out for a walk later. But right now, I'm going to do the best I can. Get my steps in. All right, so I just wrapped up my walking pad session. And let me tell you, I don't know what it is with me and my balance sometimes on my walking pad and my setup. I just felt like I was really unsteady. And also a couple times, let me show you. So as you saw before, I had my walking pad set up with my desk. And because I'm taller and I don't have a ton of space here, every once in a while, the back of my foot would kick on this because I have longer strides. So I decided, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna put it over in this corner. I'm gonna set it up right here. And I had my iPad Pro and I hopped in a meeting for the second half. And I really, really like how this is. So it's going to always be set up, will be convenient. And then that way I can get my steps in when I am in meetings. Because I do find it a little bit difficult sometimes to do some of my production work and also walk at the same time. So I know I have a couple meetings a day. Perfect little setup. So now it is time for me to have my mid-morning snack. All right, so my mid-morning snack is slightly different, but yet kind of the same. I decided to look at more of like convenience and like convenient foods that are also good ingredients. And I've done this in the past and I just need to write things down more or remember things. But yes, I'm gonna make a yogurt bowl. I got my Faye Greek yogurt. This is my favorite. But I sometimes will mix fruit in it. I'm very particular with fruit. And I was like, you know what? I like this brand. Once Upon a Farm. Yes, is it more like kids' food? I'm okay with this. I mean, this is strawberry, banana, coconut milk, apple, orange, date, beet, and pumpkin seed. Like, I'm gonna mix this organic and dairy-free smoothie mixture in with my Greek yogurt, and we're gonna see how this turns out. Maybe I'll only put half of it and then just drink the rest of this, but I used to love getting these. I got a berry one. I also got, let's see, here we go. I got this immunity blend. That's apple, cherry, and elderberry. I got this pineapple, banana, dragon fruit one. And then just because there are not any like protein bars or anything, but sometimes I just need like a little snack, like oats or something. So I got some of these oat bars to give it a go. And they're really small, great little like, I think these might be like my new little travel pack because it's very hard for me to travel with frozen fruit. And let me tell you, when I go to the beach, and I buy frozen fruit, I can get a small bag and it's like $19. It's outrageous, the cost of some of the food at the grocery stores. And I just find that when I travel with frozen fruit, it does not turn out the same. But we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna make a yogurt bowl. We're gonna mix in this smoothie and we're gonna see how this turns out. All right, we are gonna do 3/4 of a cup of Greek yogurt. So that's about 170 grams. Got my scale out, keep life simple for me. $180, all good. And then of course, let me show you what has to happen. Rosie always has to lick the spoon. Yep, don't worry, I always get a new spoon after she licks that spoon. But you know what I wanna do first? Just bend down for a second because I don't feel like lifting up my camera. I'm gonna try this first because it's been a couple months, maybe even like a year and a half. Oh, that's really good. I'm gonna put a little bit in there and I'm just gonna finish it. $80 calories, 1 gram of protein, 15 grams of carbs, 2 grams of fiber. Really, it's just me trying to get some nutrients in. We're gonna see how this turns out. I mean, can it be bad? No. It's kind of like me making a smoothie with Greek yogurt. But this way, I'm just gonna mix it up. We're gonna give it a go. Actually, that's really good. I think maybe next time I'm gonna put some almonds in it. But it just changes up the flavor of the Greek yogurt a little bit. So we're talking about 19 grams of protein. Can't beat that. All right, so it is time for lunch, but I don't have any meetings right away. So I've decided I need to take care of that squeak. So I decided, you know what, I'm gonna throw in a pair of sneakers and I'm gonna do exactly what I said I was gonna do. If I had the time, I'm gonna go for a loop around the block. I definitely underestimated the weather today. A lot chillier than I thought it was gonna be out here walking in shorts. Dummy move, but hey, it's just gonna be a short little quick walk, get some steps in, grab some lunch, and get back to work. For dinner tonight, I needed some rice, so I decided to put a little rice, some bone broth for extra protein in my rice and grain cooker that I've had for I feel like 12 years at this point, still going strong. So that way it'll be done and I'll just put it away and I just reheat it for dinner because it'll take a little bit of time for me to make this when I come home from the gym. So it's like, you know what? I'm gonna make it now. Cracking open a plain sparkling water. I'm boring like that. So that was a really nice walk. I think it was about 15 minutes. Just did a little loop, came back, still close to my phone in case something popped up during lunch. But as I said in that earlier clip, it's a little chilly out there and I'm wearing shorts. I don't know what I was thinking, but you know what? Now I'm back in my condo and it's a little warm in here, so that's probably why I have them on. But I decided just to put together this week a very simple lunch. One of just things that I feel like eating. because I still struggle at times with lunch. And I was like, you know what? Let's make life easy. So today, cottage cheese that I'm gonna dip my peppers in. Got a couple pieces of cheese and 2 breaded chicken cutlets or tenders. Exactly what I need. Probably, if I had to calculate, it's about 30 grams of protein in here. You can't beat that. But one of the other things while I was out there walking, I was thinking about because today's Monday, 3rd week, I was like, I want to make sure I really, truly know what I'm tracking. I got a piece of hair that's bothering me. What exactly am I tracking? How often am I tracking it? I want to just make sure as I do this summer shredding, I'm consistent. And I'm not just a couple weeks in, gotta measure this, couple weeks in, gotta measure that. I know I did my measurements earlier, my waist circumference, but it dawned on me, you know how much I love gadgets. And I think a year and a half ago, I bought the Renpho Smart tape measure, I think it was called. Smart tape measure. I've had this sitting in one of my cabinets for over a year and a half. Why am I not using it? So I made sure the battery still worked. I am going to do my full body analysis. I am going to do it every single week, even though I don't see it changing drastically every week, but I would love to just see the progress, right? Instead of just saying I feel like I'm losing weight and I'm not seeing it on the scale, or I'm seeing it on the scale. I want some measurables here. So I'm gonna do that later when I get back from the gym. I'm gonna do some tape measurements. And then also, here's another funny story for you all. I didn't mention it earlier in the intro, and let me set this down for a second. When I got on the scale this morning, I was up a little under 1.5 pounds. I think it was 1.3 pounds. And I'm like, wow, you let your weekend derail you. What were you thinking? Summer shredding, you should be locked in, but yeah, you still can have some fun. But did you have to have that much fun? You gained 1.5 pounds. And all right, ladies, guys, click away for a second. So makes sense why I'm up a little bit today, because I have my period. So I know that usually with the day of, or the day, I'm up 1 pound or so. And so that explains it. It's okay for me to have moments where I want to just indulge a little bit, like I did when I was visiting family in New Jersey and I didn't see any changes in the scale there. And it's just trying to give yourself a little grace. And as long as it's not every single day, this is life. This is how, I just want to learn my lessons. But I remember seeing that number and just being mad at myself for a short period of time. And then an hour or two later, I'm like, that explains it. That definitely explains why I had a slight little weight gain. And it'll be off in the next 2-3 days. That's the way that we operate. That's the way things work for me. I'm usually up 1 pound when I have my period. So lesson learned, don't be so hard on myself. But I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to eat my lunch, and then I gotta log back in for the second half of the day, really, of work. All right, just wrapped up the work day, throwing on my sneakers, and I'm heading to the gym. But I'm gonna have to use the gym in my building today because my Sam's Club order was supposed to be here earlier, and it's been slightly delayed. And usually what happens is I get a notification that it's been delivered downstairs, just out in the entryway where pretty much anybody can take it, which nobody really does, but I just worry the moment that I get to my actual gym, it'll say delivered and it's gonna derail my workout. So I'm just gonna go downstairs. It's a risk I'm willing to take, but today is lower body day, and I also plan on jogging a mile afterwards. We shall see how I feel after doing so. Lower body and running, not the greatest combo, but let's be real here. When I say running, we're not going at a fast pace. We're just gonna be jogging for a mile. So let's go ahead and head to the gym and get this workout done. Look at that face. Bright red. That's what it looks like after I did a 1 mile run. After my lower body session, I wasn't able to record it because it just got very, very busy in the gym. And I'm just very mindful of how I'm recording. If I can be discreet, I'm definitely going to record, especially in like my home gym, like in my condo. My One Life Fitness that I work out in, they have no rules against recording, but I'm still mindful of people anyway. But I felt like 4 or so minutes into that run, now I'm not going at a very fast pace, let's be real here, but about 4 or so minutes into that run, I felt like myself getting a little bit depleted. And I was like, okay, this is where you don't hurt yourself. You're just running for fun. Walk for a minute and then kick it back up. See how you feel. And that kind of helped me just kind of collect myself. I don't know if it's because I didn't eat something before going to work out, but I also don't know what's harder. What is harder? Lower body session followed by a run, or run then a lower body session? I don't know. I'm not going to test that theory because I'm all about strength first. So I want to do my strength training before I do any form of cardio. But it's going to be a little while before I peel myself off of the ground. I got to do a little bit of mobility work, and I'll do some more later. Just being smart as I'm kind of changing some things up in my workout routine. But look at that. That was a pretty good sweat. I enjoyed that run. And I think it's fun when you're doing it just for yourself. You're not worried about your time. You're not worried about, following a specific program because you want to do a race in a couple weeks. Yes, I would ideally love to do, like at the end of the summer, a timed 5K at the trail on my own. But right now, I'm not thinking that far ahead. I'm just thinking about trying to get my mile time down and getting my legs under me, getting a good form, and just not trying to hurt myself. All right, so I'm back from the gym, just got my dog fed, and I am ready to make my dinner. And this is why I say so many times, there is something about prepping food for the week. Now, I'm not talking about the entire week. I'm not talking about having all my meals prepared. I'm talking about the first 3 days of the week, when you are just, especially today, Monday, starting off your week and, chaos of getting back into the groove with work, going to the gym, trying to hit all your goals, and you're coming back like I am right now, tired, just want to quickly make something to eat and just kind of continue with my wind down for the evening. That's why I was so happy yesterday that I put a little crock pot meal together. So I wanted to make a little bit of shredded beef, but more like beef stew in a way, but without the potatoes and the veggies and all those different things. It was just the meat, and I tasted it last night and it was so good. I'm surprised I didn't eat it all, but now I was like, no, that's for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Calm down. So here is my dinner for this evening, if I could get the camera on it. So like I said, I got some really good tender beef cubes. I have my rice from earlier. I was happy I did that. And broccoli. I got my sparkling water. Now, right now, I think this is about 5.5 ounces of beef. I'm only being mindful of my protein sources right now. And I pick and choose what I'm doing each week. Some weeks I'm tracking in my Lose It app. Some I'm just weighing my protein sources to make sure I'm hitting my protein goal. And then some I'm just going to eyeball it. This is all about just learning what works for me. But I'm at the point where I know if I'm going to be in my calorie range. But I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to enjoy this dinner. I still am looking a little red. I can't wait to take a shower and rinse off, but I wanted to just kind of eat first because I was feeling a little bit hungry. All right, so I just planted myself on the couch after I finally took a shower, did my skincare. I'm going to do my red light therapy mask because I'm super high maintenance and I have all these things that I like to use, probably spend at least an hour a day on random things. But what a day it has been. I am very proud of myself. This is what I want to do every single night. I just want to sit down, unwind, and just think about how the day went and did I hit the goals that I set out for. And well, the number one thing for me, I always say, is nutrition. I said it in the beginning of this video. That'll always be number one. And I felt like I had a great day of eating. I really enjoyed my dinner tonight. Putting like the beef cubes in a crock pot with a couple little things for a couple hours, a set it and forget it type of situation. That was a really, really good dinner. So I want to research some more little simple crock pot meals that maybe aren't like so home style-ish like you would have in colder weather. Maybe I'll look for like a shredded beef recipe, shredded chicken. Maybe I'll come up with some things to put in like quesadillas, whatever it is. But I definitely really enjoyed tonight's dinner. And also outside of that, I feel like my protein hit my protein goals. I definitely exceeded 140 to 150 grams of protein today. And I don't include my perfect aminos in that, which I'll be taking 5 more capsules before I go to bed. I also have to take my multivitamins, so you won't see that in today's video, but that's part of my evening routine. But one of the things I really wanted to work on today, besides having no added sugar, which I did not have once today, and I felt like having that little protein shake, the Sam's Club. You're going to hear Rosie chomping in a second. She just came up. But by adding that Sam's Club protein shake into the mix, it was like a little bit of a sweetness. It tasted like a milkshake, which is why it's called a milkshake. And I felt like that was like a little secret hidden treat that I had to round up the night. So these are the little things that I have to do just to keep myself on track and hold myself accountable and not reach for things that I shouldn't be reaching for. And then the other main thing today was getting my steps in. And I made sure that every little bit of time that I could take, if it was 5 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever it was, that I could just prioritize movement. Excuse me, I had a piece of hair in my mouth. I really apologize for that. But you would have seen my face like go like this the whole time, like what is happening? But let's talk about my steps today. So I got on the walking pad. I did about 45 minutes of that. I made sure I went for a little bit of a walk just around the block for about 10 minutes at lunch. I didn't make it to my gym, so I wasn't able to walk to and from my gym because I use the gym in my building. So the fact that I really exceeded my step goal and I only went like downstairs, kudos to me. I'm going to say it. Kudos to me for that. But today, 13,482 steps. How accurate is the Whoop or these devices? Who knows, but it's over 10,000. So I'm going to take it. Great lower body session. Enjoyed my supersets. I wanted to test that out today because I think like there's moments, especially in the busyness of the summer, where I may only have like 30, 40 minutes. I wanted to see how this supersetting some of my exercises worked out for me. And so far, I've thoroughly enjoyed it today. It's something I'm going to keep in my back pocket for in the future. And then the treadmill, running a mile, that was an adventure. We're going to leave it at that. But I want to wrap up the day. I am ready to put something random on the TV and just relax with my dog and get ready for another busy day tomorrow at work. Another day of me trying to get closer to my goals that I've set out for during the summer shredding from now until Labor Day. But if you enjoyed today's video, as always, hit that like button, it means the world to me. And if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss any of my future updates. You could spend time with me on this crazy journey of mine. And I'd love to hear from you all in the comments below how your day went. But I will catch you all in my next video. Bye.